Have you ever stopped to think about the most powerful force shaping our lives? I mean, really think about it. It's not politics, it's not the economy, it's not even history, really. It's something much, much more fundamental. It's geography. And for me right now, figuring that out isn't just some interesting thought experiment. It's everything. It's survival.
I mean, that's a huge claim, right? The idea that the land itself, the mountains, the rivers, the climate, that it all has its own kind of logic, a deep pattern that shapes our destiny more than any leader or idea ever could. And if we choose to ignore that logic, well, we do that at our own risk.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea for a lecture. For me, this is as personal as it gets. This whole concept is right at the heart of my fight for a small piece of land in a Saxon village called Șomartin over in Transylvania. And trust me, understanding its geography is the key to everything.
So, to really get why this one little spot on the map matters so much and why it's worth this fight, we have to start with what's happening on the ground.
So here's the deal. Right now, I can't actually live on the land that I've inherited. We're tangled up in this pretty difficult legal battle trying to reclaim it. So while all that plays out in courtrooms, we're living in a nearby city, just waiting. And this feeling, this sense of being an exile, it really forces you to ask a tough question. What are we really fighting for here? Is it just about a building and a few acres of land, or is it something more? Well, the answer isn't buried in a stack of legal documents. It's actually written right there, on the land itself. We just have to learn how to read the landscape, the same way the people who settled here did centuries ago. You see, for hundreds of years, the folks who settled this land, the Transylvanian Saxons, they weren't just living on it, they were in a conversation with it. They watched its patterns, they understood its logic, and they built their entire world to be in sync with its rhythms. They knew this place was valuable, not just because it was pretty, but because it was incredibly strategic.
This quote from the founder of permaculture, Bill Mollison, just hits the nail on the head. He laid out this universal principle. Real, lasting resilience comes from having access to diversity. A settlement is going to thrive when it can tap into at least two different ecosystems.
And this image shows you exactly what he was talking about. You don't just plop a village down anywhere. You look for the places where the land itself gives you an advantage. The slopes, the valleys, the way the water naturally wants to flow. Those aren't problems to solve. They're invitations. They're practically telling you where the best places are for dams, for storing energy as water, high up in the landscape. So the crucial takeaway here is that Șomartin isn't just some random pin on a map. No, it's a work of geographic genius. It sits perfectly at the meeting point between the foothill forests and the open plains, so you get the best of both worlds. And get this, it's located in a natural thermal belt, like a little pocket of warmer air that protects it from the worst frosts. This isn't just land, it's a built-in life support system. And once you understand that, you get why this fight isn't just about ownership. It's about being a steward for a place that was designed for resilience. But you know, the importance of a place like this goes even deeper than all the practical stuff. It touches on something ancient, something deep inside the human spirit. The great historian of religion, Mircea Eliade, he argued that when we choose a place to call home, we're actually doing something sacred. We're not just putting up a house, we are creating a world. We're taking a little piece of chaos and giving it order, meaning, and a center. He called this concept the imago mundi, which basically means an image of the world. For traditional cultures, every real home is a microcosm, right? A sacred space that actually mirrors the structure of the entire cosmos. It's that fixed, stable point in a spinning, chaotic world. And this isn't just one culture's weird idea. No way. You see this everywhere, all over the world. People have always looked for or created these central points. You've got Jerusalem, ancient Iran, the Babylonian temples. They were all seen as the navel of the earth, an axis point connecting our world to the divine. It's a fundamentally human thing to do, to find our center. Okay, so if geography is shaping both our physical survival and our spiritual reality, then its power must be way, way bigger than we usually acknowledge. You know, Western thinking is completely obsessed with time, with history, this linear story of events and progress. But geography, it plays a totally different game. It thinks in space. It deals with the permanent realities, the cycles of the seasons, the fact that a mountain is just there. I mean, think about Napoleon or Hitler trying to invade Russia. Their grand historical plans were completely shattered by a simple geographic reality, the sheer size of the country and the brutality of its winter.
Geography just completely overruled history. All right, here's a number for you. 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Doesn't seem like much, maybe. But what if I told you that number represents the power of a single geographic feature to literally create or destroy entire civilizations?
Yep, that's the average temperature drop Northern Europe would see if the Gulf Stream, just one feature of ocean geography, were to suddenly switch off. The climate would basically become like Labradors in Canada. Entire civilizations exist simply because of that one current. Now that is power.
So, what does all this mean for us today, living in a world that feels more and more unstable? Well, it means that as these huge global systems start to look a bit shaky, the old wisdom of connecting to a local place becomes incredibly urgent. This idea of relocalization, of finding a specific geography and really learning how to live with it, that's not some retreat from the world. It is a powerful, vital strategy for resilience. It's the real work we need to be doing right now. And this is the ultimate goal. To take a situation that feels like a conflict, a legal battle, a sense of being in exile, and transform it by rooting it in a much higher purpose. Because when you truly commit to a place, to its health and its future, the land stops being a piece of property to fight over. It becomes a sanctuary. It becomes a place of peace.
So if every true home is an act of creation, a little replica of the cosmos built around a sacred center, it really leaves us with one critical question to ask ourselves. In this chaotic world, where is your center?